everybody. It's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Tuesday tip. Hey, it's May 2022. Time to kick off a brand new masterclass here in the Tuesday tip video series. So during the month of May, I got to thinking we've got a lot of big holidays coming up, right? We've got Mother's Day and Father's Day. Plus, we've also got graduations, weddings, there's going to be baby showers, there's still going to be birthdays. So during this month, we're going to talk about some really fun ways to create projects that you can give the gift of cash or a gift card. And I'm telling you, I have pulled out all the stops. I've got some amazing projects lined up for you. This first one, I think, is probably one of my favorites. Let me show you what we're going to create. They really are amazing. This little belly band's going to come off, and look at this. Suddenly it turns into a box. And inside that box, we get to put our favorite gift card or cash. Belly band goes right on top. Such a unique card. This is one you're going to want to learn how to make because it's going to be perfect for so many different occasions. So are you ready to learn how? Let's go. All right, let's start with our supplies. So good news, this is a one sheet wonder project. I'm going to start with a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I'm going to use real red for my card because I need a graduation card. And of course, perfect time to give a gift of cash or a gift card is graduation, right? Now, next to that, we're going to bring in some designer series paper. Because it's graduation, I wanted to make it special, blingy. And I'm going to go with some of the gold metallic specialty paper. This comes 6 by 6, and guess what? That's exactly what we need. We're going to use all of that 6 by 6, but you can use whatever designer series paper you want or create your own designer series paper. Just start with a piece of 6 by 6. Now for the inside, we're going to use a piece of basic white, 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. The last thing you're going to need is whatever you want to do for your front focal image. I did say this is a graduation card, so you're just going to choose the cardstock sizes that will fit your sentiment. This one here uses a 2.5 by 2.5 basic white, and then my basic black is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. I just wanted a nice narrow mat on that one. But again, that's going to be determined on your sentiment. Okay, let me show you the magic part. We're going to go ahead, we're going to create with one sheet of 8.5 by 11. Oh, I hope you guys feel the love because I created an amazing diagram for this project. I love to make things easy. Please feel the love on this one. It was a challenge to make this diagram, but let me tell you, it's going to be worth it because it's going to make things easy peasy for you to create. So let's go ahead and start with our very first measurement. We want to cut 1 by 8.5 inches off the top. Here's my 8.5 inch side, cutting off 1 inch. Let me set that off to the side because now we're going to bring in our Simply Scored board. But guys, remember, you can use your paper trimmer. There's a scoring blade on that. So bringing my diagram back in, we need to score this piece at 2 inches and 6 1/8. So 2 inches, 6 1/8, that easy. We're going to set that aside. Now let's bring in, this is now an 8.5 by 10 inch piece. Remember, we cut 1 inch off. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to look at these little yellow arrows. See that? We want to take the 10 inches and put it up at the top. Yep, there's my 10 inches. And we're going to make a tiny tick mark at 5 inches. When I say tiny, just a little, just like that, just enough that you can see it. We're going to rotate that all the way around and do it there on the other side. Basically, we just wanted to make a tick mark at the half mark. And we've done that. Okay, now we're going to go to our next, which is our green dashed lines. With the 10 inches at the top, we're going to score at 2 and 3.5, and then we're going to rotate. So 2 and 3.5, rotate it all the way around, 2 and 3.5. Again, it's pretty easy so far, right? Now we're going to come in and we're going to do our blue dash lines with the 8.5 inches at the top. Let's score at 1.5 inches, and we're going to do that on both sides. So 1.5, rotate it all the way around, and 1.5. Now it's time for the orange dash lines. And this one, you can see we're kind of creating a little triangle here. So we want to score from the inner score line to that tick mark. And you might be going, I have no idea how to do that. Well, I'm going to show you. It's actually very easy. So there's my tick mark, and I'm just going to line up this corner, because see, here's a score line, right? That corner, we're going to line that up right there with the tick mark. You can use your stylus tool. You can use your bone folder. But guys, we're simply, I hope you can see, I just made a score line right there. Let's rotate that around. We'll do it here on the other side. I'll tell you my little tip is I put my stylus right there, line it up. There, boom, done. Let's repeat that here on the other side. Remember, we made 2 tick marks. And with that, your scoring is done. Now we're going to do a little bit of cutting. All right, so I'm going to put these side by side so we can kind of mimic what we've got here. So you see we have little rectangles / squares here and here, okay? So we're going to cut off this one and we're going to cut down here. Hopefully you can see there's my little blue line. So we're going to cut all the way down, but we're only going to cut off this square. Let me show you what we're going to do. So we will cut all the way through the first one to the first score line, and that's actually the one we're going to cut off. So we can cut that one off, but now we need to cut to the next score line, which is where that little triangle is. That's what we need to do. All right, that's really pretty easy, guys. So let's do that on all 4 sides. All right, so those have all been cut. Now, I am going to do one more bit of cutting, and this isn't necessarily on your diagram, but I think it's really helpful, and it's called mitering. When I create boxes, I love to miter. And what I want to do is on these squares, on these little tabs, I want to cut from the inside to the outside. So you're going to go and cut just a tiny little smidge inside to that outside corner. It's going to kind of look like a piece of pie or a piece of pizza. And we'll do that here on the other side. And you notice you're just going right to that corner. And what that is going to do, it's going to make my box go together really nice. So I'm going to repeat that over here with all 3 of my my little tabs. All right, let's get all those nice and mitered out. All right, you can see I've got everything cut. I've got my little tabs mitered. Let's go ahead and move now to how we're going to cut and prep that 6x6 designer series paper. It's actually quite simple. The first thing we want to do is we want to cut this down to 5 1/4. So basically we're going to take 3/4 of an inch off. So that'll be 3/4 by 6. Let me set that off to the side because we're going to take this one. We're going to take the 6 inches. Remember, that's 5 1/4 by 6. Let's put the 6 inches up here at the top. And we need 2 pieces that are 1 1/4. So there's 1, and there's our second 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. Now with the piece that's remaining, we're going to cut it in half, and that'll give us 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 of an inch. Let's go ahead and trim this one down. This piece, we're going to cut it down to 3 3/4 of an inch. That is the only scrap that we have left over. And my friends, that right there is all you need to do to create this project. Now it's time to put it together. Lots of scoring on that one, right? Well, not to worry because I've got a free download, including that diagram, waiting for you at simplysimplestamping.com. If you want to make it easy, look down in the YouTube description. There's a direct link that'll take you there. Download it. You're going to want to hang on to this diagram because it's going to make creating this little box card easy peasy, and that's what it's all about here. You can order from simplysimplestamping.com as well, so be sure to order any of the supplies I used on my projects right there. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Okay, it's time to put it together, so let me show you how. On the arrow pieces, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fold that down and then fold these back. So it's going to kind of make a little arrow right here inside the box. So here, and then flip back. Remember, we made that great little score line. And now we can go. We're going to fold and crease everything else. And by the way, I want you to see that kind of accordion folds. Okay, so you're going to do that to both. Now, I'm a huge fan of my bone folder when it comes to making boxes. Let me tell you, I love to have those nice crisp edges. So to me, I think a bone folder is just a must-have. All right, our box is now ready for that gold metallic designer series paper. I've got adhesive here on the back, and you guys will easily be able to see where these go. So these are my 1 3/4 inch pieces. You notice everything's open, so it makes it really easy to put together. And by the way, let me also just say, while I'm thinking about it, this is also a great project you can make in advance, and you can add your sentiment and things whenever you need it. So you could make this part of your box way in advance and be ready to go, and just keep it flat until you're ready. All right, there are those 1 1/4 inch pieces. Isn't it going to be so pretty? Okay, now let's go ahead and bring in that 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. That's what's going to be on the inside of my box. Can you see? That's the inside. At this point, you're welcome to stamp whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and add this. This you could wait and add later. And let me tell you why, because you got to be able to write your message. So I am actually going to recommend that you go ahead and write your message before you even adhere this down. Now, what you can do is stamp on it, have it ready, and just keep it in the box until you're ready. And then you can adhere it down. But you know what? For today's video, I'm just going to lightly kind of tap that in there, all right? Okay, now we're going to add these flaps, and I've got 2 ways that you can do this. You can add these to the back of your box, okay? And then I'm going to show you a trick on how to cover that. But you can also add them to the inside of the box and then cover them this way. So I'll tell you what, for this one, I'm going to go ahead and put them on the inside, and I'm simply going to just add adhesive here, flipping those little tabs down. Now, if you wanted them to be on the outside, of course, you would put the adhesive on the opposite side, okay? So I'm going to do this one. It's going to be an odd one, but I want to show you both options. So you can see I'm just lining up the corners. Just line those up. There's one. And then we'll add this one right here. Now, here's the thing. I don't want that ugly to show. I'm not a huge fan of seeing those tabs, but I can now take that 1 1/4 inch and oh my goodness, look at it just disappear. And now this outside of my box is pretty and the inside is too. But I said I was going to show you 2 ways, right? Okay, so now let's put these on the outside. It's going to go together the exact same way. You're just going to line up those tabs with the outside edge. And see, it's kind of ugly, right? Here we made it pretty and you couldn't see it. And then here it's kind of, ooh, you see it. So here is my option if you want to do it on the outside. You can come along and add some matching cardstock. And I'm going to use some basic black. And these are 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So they are the exact same size as this one. But if you wanted to hide that, you could do that as well. Kind of makes the whole project just a little more attractive and adds another nice layer to your card box. So we can add these here to the outside. Like I said, I just wanted you to see both options. Now we're going to create a belly band. So you remember that strip that we cut off. This was scored at 2 inches and 6 1/8. Let's give those a little score and watch what we're going to do. We're going to put this around our card just like so. And we're going to cover that seam with another piece of that gold. Isn't that going to be so pretty? Now, there's not a lot for you to, adhere together. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm just going to lay that flat and I'm going to put my adhesive all the way down. And I'm going to let this piece of cardstock be what holds all that together. Now we're going to add a focal image. And I said I needed a graduation card. The real red is perfect for the University of Oklahoma. And my daughter's got friends that are graduating. So I've got just a simple congrats to the graduate. All right, that's the black and white that I cut. And I'm just going to put adhesive right here on that belly band, line this up, press that onto the belly band, and there we go. So now you're going to put in your cash or your gift card. Of course, you're going to sign that. We'll close it up. This is also going to fit into one of our medium-sized envelopes. So this is a card that you could send. It is a little on the thicker side. It'll probably take a little extra postage. You can send that in one of our medium-sized envelopes. Now, I want to show you another card. This one I made for my husband. Shh, don't tell him. This is his Father's Day card. And this one I used a brand new stamp set. It's called He's All That. Holy smokes, you're amazing. I love that. Now, you might be going, I'm not seeing this best dad ever. Guys, this is part of the designer series paper. There is some really amazing designer series paper I wanted you guys to see. Remember, double-sided. So I've got one here, perfect for the grill master. You gotta love a good tie paper, right? We've got the glasses, the ties, the mustache, beautiful dark espresso on the other side. Maybe your guy is into the classic cars. Look at that Cajun craze, a little Sahara sand. Again, a great texture. I think this one is one of my favorites. It's so masculine and so pretty. It's also just a really nice shiny paper. Again, we've got a straight pattern, just a really fun, simple masculine pattern on the opposite side. My man and I, we love to camp. There's our little RVs and tents and fires and trees. Fabulous. So you've got a lot of options depending on what your guys like. We've got options. And again, just another great masculine paper. So that's how I did this card. But let me show you where this came from, because this is the wow. You're going to get 2 sheets. Okay, let me see if I can do one of them. Some of these I've already popped out. You see their little die cuts. Do you see how they're already die cut for you? We've got so many. So there's that Best Dad Award. We've got Holy Smokes, You're the Best. There's a classic car. You're Stronger Than You Know, my man. And I love that one because that's what I call my husband all the time. You're my man. You Make Me Hoppy. A fun beer one. Look at the Volkswagen. Such fun. And you get 2 of these, and all of these are just going to pop right out, and you get to add them to your cards. This one, a really great torn edge. Love, love, love. So I wanted you to see what's coming in that paper, because it's just amazing. Here's our stamp set. We've got some wonderful little rivets that we can add. I can add my gift card. My man, he loves some Amazon. And look, that matches so well. 1 sheet of cardstock, 1 6x6 piece of designer series paper, an absolutely incredible diagram to make it easy for you. Guys, this is the time of year you're going to need this little project. It's going to be great for Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation, babies, birthday. Well, you get the gist, right? If you enjoyed that project, would you give me a thumbs up on YouTube? I always appreciate that. And be sure to click that great big red subscribe button and become a subscriber to my channel. YouTube can let you know whenever I'm back with a new video, and I love to share some really fun stamping inspiration with you. That's all for me today. I look forward to stamping with you guys next time. Make it a good one. Bye-bye.